Welcome to RunnerTrack's CSUB's Organizational Training and Leadership Series. This module is all about fiscal services forms, the documents clubs use for financial transactions with their on-campus accounts. We will go over direct pay forms, special services forms, petty cash forms, and collection sheets, which are deposit slips. University-created fiscal services forms are used to manage the flow of money in and out of accounts on campus. They require numbers to identify the account, a description of purpose, and authorizations to make the transactions. Money goes in and out of your account, but not every transaction requires the submission of a form. Direct pay, special services, and petty cash forms all remove money from your account and all require forms to be submitted. Transfers that happen through 25 Live or with a Pro card do not. Money gets deposited into your account with a collection sheet form. Money transferred from ASI to your account doesn't require a form. Fiscal Services Form Number 1, the Direct Pay Form. Direct pay forms result in a check being issued against funds in your club account. Checks won't be issued for amounts less than $50. Go to RunnerSync under the Resources tab and click Direct Pay Form. Instead of taking you straight to the form, you'll get a window asking you to sign in with your MyCSUB credentials. You'll go to a landing page with some instructions, but don't worry about them too much because you're getting the instructions in this video. Scroll down and you'll see a list of recipients. List your own email for contact because you're the person filling out the form. For person 1, put your president or treasurer's email. If you're the president, put the treasurer and vice versa. For person 2, put your advisor's email. For person 3, put EJ Callahan, which is ecallahan@csub.edu. Scroll down to the bottom of the form. For payee, put the name that should be on the check. For department, put student involvement. Leave completion deadline blank because if it ever reaches the date before it is all signed, the form will be canceled. For reminder, choose every other day. Click the blue submit bar when finished. You'll get a message that your form has been submitted, but this is just the routing information. You still need to fill out the form itself. Within a few minutes, you will get an email from Payment Services through Adobe Sign. Click the top blue link to be taken to the form. This will open up the direct pay form. All spaces with a red asterisk must be filled out. Under Step 1, for payee type, choose either vendor payee or student reimbursement, whichever is correct. For payee vendor name, put the name you want the check made out to. Complete the mailing address. For Step 2, put the date that is on the invoice or receipt and the invoice number if there is one. If it's a student reimbursement, put the name of the business that's on the receipt. Under description, include your club name, what the item was, and what it was for. Scroll to the bottom of the form and under Step 3, enter the account string information. Email getinvolved@csub.edu for the account information for your club. Input the amount to be paid. Step 4 should already be selected for mailing the check. Under Step 5, upload a scan of your invoice or receipt. Complete Step 6 with your information. Click the blue button that says click to sign and you're done. The form will be routed to the emails listed earlier, and when they are all done, it will go to Payment Services and a check will be issued. Fiscal Services Form Number 2, the Special Services Form. Use this form if you need to pay a person who is not a business but an individual performing a service. The process is very similar to a direct pay form, so this section will be quicker. Go to RunnerSync under the Resources tab and click Special Services Forms. You'll get the same sign-in window and same page of instructions. Scroll down and you'll see a list of recipients. This time it doesn't start with contact and then persons 1, 2, 3, and so on. It starts with contact, which is your email. Then it asks for the performer's email because their signature is required this time. Add their email here, then add your president or treasurer, advisor, and EJ Callahan like before. Scroll down to the bottom of the form. For payee, put the name that should be on the check. For department, put student involvement. Leave completion deadline blank, and for reminder, choose every other day. Click the blue submit bar when finished. You'll get a message that your form has been submitted and an email with a link. Click the link to go to the form. This will open up the Special Services form. All spaces with a red asterisk must be filled out. Under Step 1, add the payee information. This time, a phone number is required because Payment Services will call the performer to get their Social Security number. For data privacy issues, the Social Security number and the performer info won't be in the same form. For date of service, it may be a future date. If you need to pay the performer in advance of the event, note that in capital letters in the description. Otherwise, they won't issue the check until the event has passed. Fill out the rest of the form as before and click the blue button that says click to sign. The form will now go to the performer and then to your officers for signatures. Fiscal Services Form number 3, the Petty Cash Form. Petty cash is used for reimbursements only. You must have a qualified receipt and it has to be less than $250. More than $250 will require a direct pay form instead. Go to RunnerSync to Resources and click Petty Cash Form. Don't download the form. Go to the link every time you need to submit a form so new form numbers are generated. You can, however, download the example form to use as a reference. The regular form has room for 4 items or groups of items, but this example has been shortened for this video. Complete the form according to the example form from RunnerSync Resources. For account, use the account number that best describes the items being purchased. Print the name of the officer being reimbursed, either the president or treasurer, and the name of the advisor, but do not collect signatures yet. Click Print Form, but print it as a PDF so it will save instead of printing it on paper. Email the Petty Cash Form PDF and a photo or scan of the receipts to getinvolved@csub.edu for review. Once approved, it will be sent out through Adobe Sign for signatures. Take 2 copies of the signed form along with the original receipts to the cashier's window for payment. This process will eventually be automated like the 2 previous forms. Fiscal Services Form number 4, the Collection Sheet. This is the form used to make deposits into your club account. Go to RunnerSync under Resources and click Collection Sheet. There is a blank sheet at the top and a completed example sheet at the bottom you can use as a reference. Items in red will vary from form to form. Items in green are the same on all club collection sheets. The project number is your club's unique identification number. Email getinvolved@csub.edu to get this number. Complete a new collection sheet using this form as a reference. List all checks and cash and make sure totals at the top and bottom agree. List bills and coins individually at the top. When the form is filled out and before you sign it, print out 2 copies. The person who is making the deposit should sign in the lower left on both forms. To get the student union signature on the right, you may have to leave the forms and any checks so they can be endorsed, then return later to pick up the signed forms. Do not ever leave cash. Once you have both forms signed and the correct amount of cash and checks, take everything to the cashier's window to be processed. They will return one of the collection sheets to you with a receipt showing that they received the money from you. Please note that it is extremely important to deposit any funds within 5 business days of receipt of those funds, or the club could be penalized. Receipts have to include certain information to be accepted. An acceptable receipt should clearly indicate the name of the facility, the date, what item or service is being provided, and all costs for the item and subsequent taxes. It should also include how you have paid for the item: check, money order, debit or credit card, or cash. In the case of electronic payments, bank statements or printouts from your financial institution may serve as receipts and will by nature contain all necessary information. If a receipt is missing any of this information, a copy of the credit card statement may be required. If the receipt is missing information and it was a cash purchase, reimbursement will not be approved. Here are a few last thoughts about fiscal services forms. Clubs should deposit all funds within 5 business days of the receipt of the funds. If a check is dated more than 5 business days before the deposit, the club will be required to verify with the signer of the check that the funds are still available. Checks should be made out to ASI since clubs all fall under ASI's account. Checks made out to the club will be refused. Checks made out to CSUB can be accepted, but there may be a fee deducted. On special services forms, let your performer know in advance they'll be called and asked for their social security number as a data safety precaution. Not all receipts are acceptable. Make sure the receipt includes all the necessary information. Some online purchases do not include sufficient information, so a copy of the credit card statement will be required. Thank you for watching our RunnerTracks Officer Training and Leadership video for Fiscal Services Forms. Please return to the RunnerTracks training form, answer a few questions about this video, and submit the form. If you have questions or want more information, email us at getinvolved@csub.edu. And please watch our other RunnerTracks videos.